NYYGmen212. Really great question. Being unbiased, how do you see the rest of the NFC East teams doing going into next year? Well, I'm glad this guy was able to ask not just an Eagles question, but an NFC East question. Look, this is an NFL where if you're not getting, you're never the same. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. So it's going to be real hard for Dallas Cowboys to repeat that 13-3 record that they came out with last year. That being said, I still think they're the class in the NFC East. Dak Prescott, despite some bashing by his own fan base, I think Dak's the real deal. I think he's cool and calm under pressure. He's just going to mature. A little bit of an accuracy issue, but that's okay when you got guys like Cole Beasley and especially Dez Bryant who can catch, just about anything thrown to him. Unless he's dropping it. I think Zeke's the real deal. I don't give a shit about that offensive line. I think he would be the real deal on any team. Obviously, the offensive line is just riddled with first-round picks and Pro Bowlers. They're up against the cap. They're strapped for cash. So whether they can hold on to some of those defensive players that are pending free agents and then add some to the defense that has yet to be seen, I don't think they repeat the same 13-3 performance that they put out last year. But I still think they're at the top of the NFC East. The New York Giants are streaky as fuck. I've never seen a team that looks so good one week and then looks like the Cleveland Browns the next week. They bought their defense. It worked out for them. The Eagles have tried that in the past, and it didn't, but it worked out for the New York Giants. Eli's getting older. They really have, if they were smart, they would start thinking about what they should do as an option after Eli. Maybe draft a quarterback in the mid rounds and see if they can't groom that guy behind Eli. Eventually, and I do think Eli is a Hall of Famer, mainly because of his longevity and his ability to stay healthy. Eventually, it's going to come to an end. All right, and they need somebody else there to replace him. They need a running game. Again, the Giants are streaky as fuck. It depends on where you hit them during that streak. So I think they're the second best team in the league or in the NFC East. The Redskins, you never know year from year what you're going to get from that team. Kirk Cousins either going to get franchised or signed long term. It's curious to see what they're going to do. I know they drafted a couple young receivers, but they're letting Garcon go, and more than likely they're letting Deshaun go. Defense, they have some stuff to work on there. Redskins, again, you don't know what you're getting year from year. You could either get a team that's going to compete for the division title, or you're going to get a team that's at the bottom of the division. It's far and few in between. And then there's the Eagles. Honestly, I would rank them fourth. They got a lot of work ahead of them, guys. The Eagles have a lot of work ahead of them. Now, anytime you have your franchise quarterback, you have your cornerstone. They need 2 new cornerbacks. They need a whole new wide receiving core. They need, who's our running back? 33-year-old Darren Sproles? No, you need a running back. You need to fix up that offensive line. You need to find another pass rusher because Barwin's out. The Eagles have a lot of work ahead of them. Can they do it? Absolutely. I don't think it's going to be anytime soon. I think they're still another 2 years out from really competing with the rest of these teams in the NFC East. So I would go Cowboys, Giants, Redskins, Eagles. Mend555 asks, what do you eat when you get the munchies? Do I look like the type of guy that gets the munchies to you? Yes? Okay. Well, when I do get the munchies, it's usually anything gummy. Gummy bears, just that fruity, chewy stuff. Peach rings, those cherry slices that have all the sugar on them. I love those things. The worst place for me is, you ever see those mall kiosks where you walk by and it's just like the domes full of like the gummy shit, and there's always somebody there handing out free samples. I will go there with practically a garbage bag and drop $60 every single time I walk past that place. So it's a lot of gummy candy when I have the munchies. Mark Hamilton asks, is 4th and John having an NFL draft tailgate? Yes, I'm still a little shaky on all the details of the draft itself, what exactly is going down. I know it'll be at Benjamin Franklin Parkway, at least Draft Town will. I'm not sure if the physical draft is taking place in the same location. What I do know is that there's probably going to be a lottery for tickets, and I'm skipping the lottery. I'm just not doing that because there's no way we're going to get our entire Twitter crew and podcast crew, everybody into the draft. What we can do, however, is tailgate and party like animals outside of the draft in Draft Town. We're going to be making up a bunch of signs. So chances are, I'll make another video when it's closer with the details about what's going on with the 4th and John party for the draft. But yeah, it's probably going to be in Draft Town on Benjamin Franklin Parkway. So stay tuned. Kapizzle asks, was hanging out with Pizzle really the greatest moment of your life? No, it was not. However, watching Pizzle sing Fly Eagles Fly after the Eagles kicked the Giants' ass and having you do that for YouTube and stand with me the entire game might have been one of the highlights of the season. But no, not the greatest moment of my life. Not even close. Sorry, Cop. Roby Reds asks, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? I don't know. Why don't you ask your mother? She's been chucking this wood for years. Meet the Mets asks, Ayo, EROCK, did you play football? No, I did not. Too small. I'm Darren Sproles size. I'm like 5'6". I weigh about $160. I can't even kick that well. So, no, just a lifelong football fan, never played. Alfred Best asks, craziest moment you've ever had while DJing? There's been a lot of them. One that comes to mind is I was DJing Valley Forge Casino, and listen, I'm not exactly Brad Pitt or anything like that, but when you're the DJ, you're the center of attention, and women, especially of the drunk variety, have a tendency to see the man who's at the center of attention and say, I want that. So being a DJ comes in, somewhat of handy when it comes to getting females' attention. However, this one decided in a miniskirt that she was going to cat crawl across the stage, go underneath the DJ booth, rip open my button shirt and try to take off my pants, to which then I had to have security, come in and, I'm working. Listen, I'm working here. It's a fun job, but it's still a job, and I can't have, chicks just crawling across the stage trying to, take advantage of me while I'm working. So that's happened quite a few times, and that's probably the craziest one there. Yeah, we just won't tell Jackie about that one. Chris Durso asks, EROCK, how long have you and your family been Eagles fans, and how long have you had season tickets? My grandfather, who grew up in Trenton, was born in 1933, was the original Eagles fan. I used to take him and my grandmother down the Franklin Field. He taught my mother and my uncle to be Eagles fans, and when I was born in 82, I actually learned the game from my mother. I didn't learn the game from my father. My father is on the Eagles drumline now, but I learned the game of football from my mom. So shout out to all those females out there, all those moms who are raising their kids the right way. And that doesn't mean just Eagles. That if you're a female football fan out there and you have a son and you're grinding and providing for that kid and teaching them football, hey, hats off to you. You make the world, you moms make the world a better place out there. So my mom taught me the game. So our family, we refer to it as born in. We don't have a choice when we're born, what team we're rooting for. We come out the womb bleeding green. In fact, there was a time, I think I was 8 years old, where I told my mother that I didn't want to be an Eagles fan anymore. And I sat down and I looked at all the helmets, and I picked out some of the helmets I thought were cool. And I remember, it was the New Orleans Saints or the Atlanta Falcons, and I went to my mom. I said, Mom, I'm gonna switch teams. These are the other teams that I want to root for. I don't want to be an Eagles fan anymore. And I was 8 years old, and my mother threatened to put me up for adoption. Funny story, but true story. And at the time, I thought it was real. She might have been real. I mean, she might not have been kidding. I don't know, but I didn't want to test her, so we always bleed green. Season ticket holder-wise, we started out with 2 season tickets in the early 90s. Up in the 600 level of Veterans Stadium. That grew to 3 tickets by the late 90s, to 4 tickets by the time Lincoln Financial Field opened, and those are all in 225. Then we had the opportunity to add 2 more tickets in 226. See, the Eagles season ticket waiting list is a bit of a sham, only in the fact that, okay, if somebody gives up their season tickets, right, they go to every other season ticket holder and say, do you want these? So if it clears, that's how we ended up with the ones in 226. So for anybody on the season ticket holder waiting list to get tickets, that means that somebody not only had to give them up, but the rest of the season ticket holders around the stadium had to basically say, no, we don't want them, and then they come available to the season ticket holder waiting list. So we have 4 in 225, 2 in 226, and then I don't consider them season tickets because they're not mine. They're from an Eagles employee, but we buy the tickets every year. We have, and a lot of the videos you see, including the one with Cop Hizzle, is down in 115. I don't consider those part of the season tickets. To be a season ticket holder, apparently I got to explain this for some people, but to be a season ticket holder, they have to be your seats. And you have to go to every game, and you're going to the same seat, to the same section, to the same game. It's your last name on the tickets. Being a season ticket holder does not mean that you go to most of the games if your buddy has an extra ticket to give to you. All right, so anybody who says they're a season ticket holder who doesn't have the actual name on the ticket is a fraud and a liar. Just to make that absolutely fucking clear. So that's it from the AMA. I appreciate everyone that asked questions. I tried to take some of the best ones, and I didn't want to make this video too long. I might have to separate it up into 2. If you guys enjoyed it, maybe I'll do another one. In the meantime, please follow me on Twitter. That's where most of my content is going nowadays. It is not on YouTube anymore. It's just not my preferred platform, which, you know, I went over earlier, but at the Mighty EROCK on Twitter, 4th and John, at 4th and John. Make sure you follow the show. It's up and coming. We started this year with really no idea on how to do it. It was an overwhelming success its first year, and it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. So we're looking forward to Season 2, and we already have some ideas about what we're going to do. If you enjoyed this video, maybe I might do another AMA. Maybe I might do another EROCK video. I don't know. But definitely give a follow on Twitter and make sure you're following 4th and John. All right, guys? So thanks again to everybody who asked questions, and I'll see you guys around. Let's go Birds.